In today's video, we're going to be having a look at 5 new features in the first Home Assistant release of the year, the 2024.1 update. Check it out. What's going on, guys? I hope you're all doing well. Kicking this off then, we've got some brand new enhancements and improvements for the to-do list, which definitely now make it a worthwhile and viable option, especially if you're a list user. To add an item to your to-do list, you could simply just type in an item and press the little plus button, or press enter on your keyboard, and this was a nice and simple and quick way of actually adding an item to your list. But now if we look towards the bottom right, you'll see that we've got this new add item button, and if we select that, we'll get a brand new dialog that allows us to add a task name, a description, and also a due date. Being able to add descriptions and due dates makes the items a lot more useful, and it also breaks up the lists when you're looking at them. With due dates, you've got a different colour that will identify whether it's approaching or whether it's past, and having that little bit of colour is also a nice little splash that just breaks up the list a little bit more. To take this a little bit further, descriptions also support Markdown, so you can make use of Markdown when you're typing your descriptions out, and this will add even more flair to your to-do items, and you can even create subtasks that you can mark off within the list. Up next, we've got some small but notable card changes. A few updates ago, we got the brand new thermostat and humidifier cards, and by default, the center of this card would always show the target temperature or target humidity, and just below it, you'd have the current temperature or current humidity. And one of the most requested changes and features for this card was the ability to just swap those values around. So in 2024.1, this is something that you'll be able to do. Editing the card, you'll now have the ability to actually swap what that centerpiece represents. So if you wanted it to be the current temperature, then you can now do that. Another addition that we've had for cards is a brand new card feature that will let you put a button on a card that allows you to trigger updates for Home Assistant add-ons or Home Assistant core updates. It's not something that I'd personally use, but if you're one of those people that make those little admin dashboards, then it might be something that you find useful. Moving on then to my third feature, and we've got holidays. Holidays is a new integration that will allow you to add public holidays to your Home Assistant calendar. To add it, you simply go into your integrations, choose to add a new integration, and type holiday. From here, you'll be able to specify your country, and once you select your country, it'll automatically add any of the public holidays that are specifically tied to your specific country. With all of those public holidays added into your calendar, you'll be able to create automations that are specifically target those set public days. So if you're somebody that likes to make holiday-based automations, then you can combine it with this and have those automatically work. On to my fourth feature then, and this one is probably one of the biggest and most notable features, especially if you've been a long-time Home Assistant user, but it's some visual changes to the automation editor. Previously, our old automation editor looked like this, but as of 2024.1, it now looks like this. Straight away, you'll notice some brand new headings and descriptions, but I think these changes are definitely a welcome one. The headings and descriptions add some really clear statements, and they make it easy to understand what the particular section is trying to achieve within the automation editor. Fundamentally, triggers, conditions, and actions all still exist, and nothing's actually changed in the back end. This brand new visual representation just aims to make it simple and easy to understand for new beginners or people that are new to writing automations. To help with the whole simplification process, you'll notice now that whenever you choose to add a new trigger, a condition, or an action, the old list has been swapped out for a brand new dialog that will just show you the most relevant information for the section that you're in. If you choose to add a trigger, you'll see that the most common items used are devices, entities, and time and location. And again, for a new user, this makes it a lot easier to actually find what you want. If you've been a long time user and there's another trigger that you want, you could just select the other triggers and you can scroll through the list of triggers that are available to you. But we now also have this search trigger option, so you can search for a trigger based on its name. Another new option that's been added to the automation editor is the ability to add a building block. Adding building blocks is the brand new way to add logical operations to your automations, so you can add building blocks to your conditions and actions, and these will allow you to make use of the AND condition, the NOT condition, the OR condition, or any of the other logical operations. The process of actually splitting out the logical operations from the main automation dialog just makes the dialog list a lot shorter and a lot more simple for new users, so if you don't plan on using them or don't want to use them, then you don't have to use them and you don't even have to see them. This one is quite a big change for the automation editor, but it is only a visual change, Again, nothing changes in the back end, so if you've wrote all your automations in YAML, then nothing is going to break and everything will still work and you can still do things exactly how you like doing them. Overall, I think this feature is definitely going to be a welcomed one. There's going to be people that like it and people that don't, but from a new user perspective, having the new terminology and the simplification is a lot easier to understand. Having when and if, then do is much easier than a trigger, condition, and an action, especially when you click these various points and they just give you a big list and you don't know what's going on. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on this and whether you like this new change or not. My final feature for this update then is a small one but a nice one, and it's a brand new entity for valves. There's now a brand new entity for valves, which will of course allow you to expose and control valves, and this could be for radiator valves, sprinklers, smart water valves, pool systems, and much more. Having a new entity to actually control a valve will give you finer control and support over valves, so you can do things like set a specific opening or closing position, or make use of a predefined state. At the time of recording this, none of the valves that I use in my setup are supported by the new entity just yet, but as with all new entities, over time they'll just be adopted and implemented. And there we go guys, a nice short and sweet update to kickstart the year. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to drop me a like, and if you're not already, hit that subscribe button and ding dong the notification bell, and you'll be alerted to any future video that I do. As always, a massive thank you to these awesome dudes. These awesome dudes are my Patreons and also my YouTube members. And if you're interested in helping support my channel, which in turn allows me to create content like this, then you find links to all the places that you can go to support me, all in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.